In this problem, it says students studying motion observed a cart rolling at a constant rate along a straight line. This table gives the distance in feet that the cart was from a reference point at 1 second intervals from t equals 0 to t equals 5 seconds. So which of the following equations represents this relationship between d and t? All right, there are multiple ways to go about this problem. One way is to say, all right, when t is 0, d is 14. So if you plug in 0, you should get 14. So if I plug in 0 for t, I get 14. That works. If I plug in 0 here, I get 8. So that doesn't work. If I plug in 0 here, I get 14. That works. If I plug in 0 here, I get 6. That doesn't work. If I plug in 0 here, I get 0 for d there. So we've narrowed it down to A or C. So now if we plug in 1, we should get 20. So if I plug in 1 plus 14, I get 15. That doesn't work. So if I plug in 1 times 6 is 6 plus 14 is 20. So there is one way of finding this out. Another way is if you look at these values, 14, 20, 26, 32, 38, 44, you'll notice they all go up by 6. And they start when t equals 0 at 14. Well, the starting number when t equals 0 is kind of like the y-intercept for a linear equation. And the number that this goes up by, since time goes up by 1, is the slope. So if you can figure out every time this goes up by 1, this goes up by 6, you've got your slope. So it has to be B or C. And it starts with a value of 14. That's the y-intercept. So that means it has to be either A or C. So that's another way of figuring out what the equation is for this data.